Momversations.
Juliet is a woman, a wife, a mother, and a woman of God. I say I'm God's handmaiden, meaning God's servant, God's woman servant. Oh wow, my early childhood was away from home a lot because I went to boarding school from class 5. That should be around how many years? Around 9 or so. I went to boarding school from class 5 all the way to form 4. So I was mainly away from home. But I'd say my childhood was absolutely fun in school. Not so nice being away from family, but it was a good childhood. I grew up around Catholic schools. My class 5 to 8 was in a sister school in Embu. So I come from Embu. My dad is Embu, and my mom is Kao Mkamba from Yata. And I grew up in Isili. For those of you that know Isili is where I grew up. It is now mostly densely populated with Somalis, whereby we go for shopping, a lot of clothes shopping and all that. Yeah, that's where I grew up, a place called Marie Stops. Yep. My fondest childhood memory was what would I say? We used to have a lot of play. We used to go to the village a lot when, of course, that is what most of our parents believed in doing, taking children to the village whenever schools are closed. So I remember a lot of child play, and one of the most beautiful times that I enjoyed the child play was during rainy seasons. Okay, I remember playing a lot in the rain, and lately when it has been raining, because we've been having floods in Kenya, my daughter has been asking to go and play in the rain, and she just reminds me of the little girl that I was that particular time. So most of that was my childhood. Fondest memories was the play, the going to the village, the family celebrations that we used to have, Christmas, birthdays. It was not so mega like have a party, but we would make sure we mark it with family and a cake just to celebrate a birthday, and all Christmases had cakes. Yeah, so I would say my fondest childhood memory was fun-filled. It had a lot of family and a lot of play and a lot of just being a girl. Yep. Of course, yes. But I forgot to say I'm a last born. So should I mention that I come from a family of 6, that is including my parents, both dad and mom. Then my siblings, we are 4, currently 3. We lost our brother last year, so I have I had 1 brother and 3 sisters, and I'm the last born. I'm the baby of our home. So being the last born, those that are last borns know that last borns really enjoy good timings, good favorisms, good babying. Okay, so I enjoyed that most of the time, but my mom did not joke with the kiboko. If I was wrong, I would receive it 100-fold, but I would say my elders received it more, because most of the time the question was, why did you let the child do that? How come you did not defend the child? Why didn't you let the child not, why didn't you correct the child? Okay, so most of the time I went away with the beatings, but yes, I've been beaten before, nicely. My mom used to pinch you and lift you with a pinch. It was something. And at times she could bite you, beat yani meno anakuuma. Anakuchapa na anakuuma na anakuchuna na kuinua hivi. You will not repeat it again. Yeah, so I received beatings nicely. And my children have also gotten a good share of it. I tapped well. My high school life was cheeky. I remember very, very cheeky. I got a suspension in Form 3. I used to be those girls that were very cheeky. First of all, I would say I was mostly in the drama festivals, music festivals. I was not a sportish person, but I found myself in the drama and the music festival. So majorly being in the drama and music festival, that is fun-filled activities that involve a lot of being cheeky. So whenever there was an opportunity for going out, for going for anything that would take us out of school, I'd make sure today I'm a Catholic, tomorrow I'm that we used to call it YCS, and then tomorrow I'm a CU, and then tomorrow I'm in music festivals and I'm in drama, anything that could take us out of school. Where I did not find myself a lot was in the games, the sport, the ball games and the sports, the running and all that. That one I have never been gifted in it, and I don't quote unquote like it. My son has taken after. He's playing what I should have played. He loves basketball. He's very sportish. So my high school was fun and cheeky. I enjoyed my classmates. I miss them till date. And whenever we happen to get the opportunity to meet, it's always a fun time to be around each other. So yes, it was very cheeky. I remember I said I got a suspension once. I'll tell you why. Yeah. Yes. The suspension bit was, say, a little bit okay. But now the thought of going home was now the trouble, because as I said, my mom was tough. She's still tough till now. My dad was even worse. My dad would not beat you with kiboko. He would beat you with the looks, and you just start repenting. So the suspension bit was okay. It was I would like to say I was innocent in the suspension. It was placed on the Nairobi people. Okay, one day I'll give a story of what happened on the suspension bit. But the issue of being suspended was an issue, yes, and not so much of an issue. The major issue was, how will I go home? My parents did not take it well. I got a nice beating when I got home. That was in Form 3. You can imagine a Form 3 still being beaten. So there's no point at which a child should not be beaten. Okay, so I got a nice beating even before I explained myself. The thing was suspension. Why have you been suspended? Remember that time we didn't have cell phones or a way of communication, verbal communication. So it was through the letter. So one way or the other, I got home, I gave mom the letter, and then she waited for dad. Then I received my homecoming welcome. Then from there, it did not matter that I was innocent or ilikuwa kuekelewa. It was, you should not have found yourself anywhere in suspension. So it was not taken well at all. At all. Yeah, we had to balance, because there was this thing in school that I was talking to my children the other day about, that in our school, I'll mention, I went to St. Teresa's Girls in Embu, and in our school, if you don't get to a certain pass mark, whether there was music festivals, there was drama, or whatever took you out of school, you would remain a whole week when other people go home. And remember that time, the holidays were not as outstretched and long as the holidays currently. So we could find ourselves having a 3-week holiday. Then perhaps you did not get to the markup point that you're supposed to, and then you find yourself remaining in school 1 week. So a week of your 3 weeks has been taken. So whether you're in drama, whether you're in music festivals, you just had to know how to maneuver in all of them and perform well. And it got worse as you're going to Form 3 and Form 4. You would even remain behind for a subject that you have not performed well. One thing I appreciate about the schools that I went to, the high school was St. Teresa's Girls Embu, and the primary school was St. Ursula, also in Embu. One thing I appreciate about those schools is they instilled the importance of education. There was no joking with education. You are free to do every other extracurricular activities to your level best. But when it comes to books came first. Assignments came first. Every other thing did not supersede the importance of books. So I was cheeky, I was fun-filled, I was outgoing, but at the end of the day, vitabu lazima zingefunguliwa na zisomwe. Assignments, whether you have gone for music festivals on a row, you have gone for the lowest one, I can't remember it was which one, but I remember there was districts and there was provincial and there was national. Whether you're going for all of those, you'd still come and find piled up work in class that you're supposed to do and accomplish. Yes, probably you could be given some time to do it, but at the end of the day, if you don't perform well, if you don't do well in your grades, you are remaining 1 full week to do the remedials, and it was not fun. So working hard was not an option. You managed to balance. Yes. Mm-hmm. That was breeded in school. As I said before, I grew up in I would say my childhood, majorly, virtually the whole of it, and my teenagehood. I was in school. I was in boarding school. So in those schools, we had what we would call talent searches. Okay, so I remember in St. Ursula, we would have it was a sister school. If those that are Catholics know what I mean by sisters, so we would have talent shows, okay, whereby they would identify who is good in fashion. So we could get ourselves dressed up in funny outfits, and then we would be told to model. Others would be, told to read news. Others would be told to dance. Others would be told to sing. So out of that, they would be able to pick what you're good at. They would, of course, even with the sports and all that, the running, there are those people who are good in sports and etc. So it produced the talents and the gifts in me early. I was able to pick them out. I was able to learn what I love. I was able to know what I was good at, because you had no option not to do anything. Everyone could be able to do something in school. Everyone, absolutely. If you're not in drama, if you're not in one ball game, if you're not running athletics and all that, if you're not doing one thing or the other, you would find yourself doing another thing. We also had home science. We had every other thing that could be able to pick out. So I found out who I was. I picked who Juliet is. I would say I started finding myself out from when I was in primary school, there about class 7, class 8, and then it came out so well while I went to high school. Oh, in school life and in now? Okay. Right now, one of my favorite hobbies is traveling. I love to travel. I love. I can go every day, every other time, everywhere. As long as the place is fun, I love exploring travel. I believe that God has given us a beautiful what would I call it? Earth where we are in. Beautiful countries, beautiful places. We have dry places. We have beaches. We have mountains. We have where animals live, like in the Mara in Kenya. So I'm one person that enjoys doing that. I enjoy more the road trips more than the air travels. Okay, I really do. I find myself enjoying more of the road trips more than the air travel. So one of my hobbies is traveling. My favorite hobby is traveling. So, and I'm planning to, I want to put down 7 countries that I must visit before 50. Yes. So that means in 9 years' time, 7 countries that I must have visited. Okay. So that one of the hobbies I have is travel. Number 2, I love cooking. I enjoy cooking. I love putting those spices together. I love putting, trying new things. I love mixing. I love, cooking for my family. I love to see them enjoy the meals that I make. And it's an absolute joy and fun for me. Number 3 hobby is being with my children and my family. Oh, I have a family that is very fun. We are all loud. We are all funny. We chongoa each other all the time. At times, if you just budge in our home, you'd wonder, is this how they talk to Reverend? Okay, is this how they talk to Pastor Julie? Yeah, but when we get home, we drop everything that is work related and we wear our caps of being parents. And so I love parenting. I love being around my family. I love being around my husband. It is very, very fun. It's one of my hobbies also. Another hobby is singing. I love singing. I love singing. I clarified or did a lot of fine tuning of my vocals when I was in high school. From Form 2, we had a group that we called Jigs. Jesus is coming soon. Wow. I remember that team. We were a team of 4 girls that used to have angelic voices. One of the best girls, one day, we'll get to meet her. Her name was Naomi. She was our lead and she had an angelic voice. So I sing a lot in the bathroom. I sing a lot in the house. I sing everywhere. I love music. Music is my everything. While I'm doing house chores, I put music. While I'm cooking, I put music. In the morning, the first thing I do while I prepare my children to go to school, I make sure I put music. So music is in me, and thus producing the singer in me. Yes? You want to give me a try? I can dance very well. Okay, let me not praise myself too much, lest I'm the left-footed, double left-footed guys, as people want to say it. So I think I can dance. I think I'm not so off when it comes to dancing. I can dance a little, though my daughter tends to think I can't. My son also tends to laugh when I dance. But let me hit my chest and say I can dance. Yes. Wow, that is amazing. I met Jesus immediately after high school. I had just completed my Form 4, and I grew up in Deliverance Church, Eastleigh, and when that's where we used to go. I used to tell people my mom was not so much of a church person. But one of the things that she made us know is the importance of church and going to church. Okay, let me just clarify this because I know she may see this video. She was not initially, when we were growing up, a church goer that much. But every other Sunday, even if she's not going to church, she could prepare us, dress us up, and tell us to go to church. So I knew Sunday school from a long time ago. And so the church that we were going to, that was near where I grew up, remember I said I grew up in Isili, Marie Stops. The church where I grew up is Deliverance Church Isili. And after high school, I got to have this thing or realize of this thing that was called ex-candidates. Ex-candidates as those that had cleared their Form 4. And so in that time, they grabbed me. They were very good at realizing who has finished school, who is in which form, and who is in college and all that, who is the youth and all that. So they realized that this lady and another crew that we had completed the Form 4. And so we were quickly enrolled in the ex-candidates. And so that is how I began to go for the ex-candidate meetings, which were, I think, if I'm not wrong, every Friday. We could go meet up and then they would share the word. We'd read the Bible just an hour and then sing and then pray and then we are released to go home. So in one of those meetings, I was invited by a certain lady by the name Rahab, and she told me that there was a kesha. Rahab and another guy, they invited me for the kesha and they told me that there was going to be a youth kesha that Friday. And so I went home. I was living with my sister then, my elder sister Pauline. And so I went and borrowed permission and told her, there's kesha tonight. Would you allow me go to church? And as easy as she is, she told me, it's okay, you can go for kesha. So I went for kesha and we happened to go with 3 girls. A friend of mine was called Julie, like me. Another one called Faith. So we went, they passed by home and picked me and we went for kesha. And that was the beautiful day I met Jesus. And guess who was ministering that day? His name was Evangelist Bernard Akama. He's the one that led me to Christ. It was an amazing time. That was in June. I can't remember the day very well, but it was June on a Friday. It was a youth kesha. Yes, that's how I met Jesus. After high school immediately. The wildlife. I usually say openly that God grabbed me very fast. Very, very fast. He did not allow me explore the world. Okay. Truth. I've gone clubbing, not once, not 2 times, several times. But this is the weird thing that even my husband till now never understands. I never got to drink. I used to go with my friends and other, male friends. And one of the things I was good at is taking care of their things while they are partying and drinking. So I was the key holder of the car keys. I was their jacket carriers. I was their phone taking care person. I was the one who was keeping, making sure that their things don't get lost, because most of them could get drunk at one point or the other. I went clubbing. Yes, I did. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. But I never once tasted alcohol. I don't know if it was for the fear of my parents knowing, my dad knowing. I don't know. But I never got to taste alcohol while before I got born again. So what was I doing in the club? I used to go for fun. And one of the things I used to be, those people that open the floor for dancing. My friend and I, her name is Josephine, we used to be the floor openers. Yes. So that was what used to take me for, to the clubs. I think, could dance to, the loud music and the people, and we could be the ones that open the floor and then people just come and join us. Oh, that's what I remember about it. So, did it affect me? Not really. What affected me, I'll confess today, is the secular music. That one I had to be prayed for by my then spiritual mentor, Evangelist Bernard Akama. Yeah, he had to pray for me for it to go. I had a thing for secular music. And I had a discussion with him and I told him, is it wrong after now salvation? I asked him, is it wrong to listen to secular music? because by then is when bongo was being introduced in Kenya. So bongo was like, wow, it has come to bring a whole new difference to Swahili songs. So it was not easy separating, with secular music, but clubbing, it was just a snap of the finger, because also I knew if my parents know that I was going out, it would really, really bring me issues. How did I used to go out? I used to either lie to my sister, I've gone home that day, or I lied to my parents, I'm at my sister's. So that's how I used to, go to the clubs. Yes. Yeah. Sijawai, I was smart, but sikuenda sana. Remember, I cleared high school in November. That is 2001. And then I got born again 2002 in June. So sikuwahi patikana. Hata wakijua, wakiona hii video, they'll be like, what? Yeah. So I used to either lie, I've gone home. Remember, I was living with my sister, my elder sister. She had just gotten her firstborn, Carl. And I was helping her take care of the baby as she goes to work. So I remained home with the baby and the house help. And then at that particular time also, I was looking out to go to college. Yes. So when I wanted to go out clubbing, I would lie to my sister, today I'm going home. The advantage is that time, phone call, what do you call them? Mobile phones were not also very popular. So my mom and dad never used to have them. My sister never used to also have a mobile phone. So it was easy to lie. Yes. Sikupatikana, nilikuwa mjanja. The young Juliet imagines on being a nurse who would really concentrate on her education really, really deeply, and advance it to medicine. So I wanted to start on nursing and then go into medicine, do either pediatrician or do both pediatrician and gynecologist if it is possible. But I've always had a thing and an interest with children and women. So I wanted to venture in medicine in whichever form, start from the level of being a nurse, then go into advance it into being a doctor. Was it what I envisioned in terms of career? No. But in terms of life and outcome, yes. And so much more that God has added to what I envisioned. I really was a career person from the word go. I wanted to do nursing. I wanted to make money. I wanted to, do medicine. I wanted to, venture into being a doctor, gynecologist, or a pediatrician, make a lot of money, then get married and have children. So before then, of course, I was not born again, but I was looking at how I could be able to, make money and then get a family of my own, of which now God has given me that and much more. I have a beautiful family. I have a bigger family that I call Sound of Abundance Church. And I have a major, even bigger family of thousands, which I call the social media family. So I'm really happy with where I am at this particular time, even if it did not go the path that I, as Juliet, young Juliet, had envisioned. Okay, my single life again was not very long because I got married very quickly. I cleared high school, I believe, at the age of around 18, there about 19. Then I went to college. So in that bit, I got born again in June. So I became 2002 June, I became a church person. We had a very powerful follow-up team. So you couldn't miss churches, you couldn't miss youth meetings, you couldn't miss Bible studies and all that. So immediately after high school, I had a little party And then when I got born again, now I shifted into this new world, which was the church and Jesus and God world. So we are in that particular moment, I had friends who are born again. I had my mentors who are growing me in knowing more about God. And at that particular time also, I joined college. I went to Kenya Institute of Social Work and Community Development, which was Kiswid. I don't know if it is Kiswid until now. And I ventured into community health. So by profession, I'm a community health worker and a counselor. So I got to join the college at, I think, August or September of the same year, 2002. So I did my college for 1 year. And then now, after graduation, I got to do some volunteer jobs here and there in 3 organizations, NGO organizations. Then at that particular time also, I was pursuing to go to the US. Remember, I said I wanted to venture into nursing and then do medicine. So my elder sister, Beatrice, is in the US with her husband and family there. So they were to accommodate me there while I pursue my nursing. So particularly at that particular time while I was in college and all that, I was still pursuing to go to the US, which at that time, someone had spotted me already for marriage and was praying that if I am the wife, I should not go to the US. That particular time was, prayer. I'm trying this thing and another person is praying on this other end. So I tried my luck on going to the US, went to the US embassy 3 times, and with every document, that when you're in the will of God, God will always take you in the way He wants. With every document correct, with a letter from the colleges, every bank statement and all that, I got denied 3 times. Remember, I have someone on the other end ready to receive me, but because God knew my destiny was on this other side, Kenya, He couldn't allow me go then. So, what did you ask again? Yeah, life before marriage. So absolutely. So that is absolutely what I was doing. So I was in college while I was pursuing to go to the US. So again, I didn't also see my life much in Kenya, because there's a way you see everything. I was seeing myself in the US over there, but there's this guy already who is fine-tuning me somewhere and telling me he wants a relationship. And then he's asking God, he's telling God, this is my wife. If this is my wife, make a sign, show me a sign, let her not travel to the US and all that. So that happened between 2003, 2004, 2005, and in 2006, that is where I tied the knot. Yes. So I was never a single lady who lived by herself. All that time I was moving from my sister's home to my mommy's home. So I have never lived by myself. Like, my children are even asking the other day, Mommy, did you ever live by yourself? I told them no. I forever lived with with grandma and grandpa, and then I moved to living with Pauline, my elder sister. So I was there always with the two. I lived with people always. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. If I could change one thing is making prompt decisions and acting on them. One thing I've come to learn with God will always give you the opportunity before you, but He will never do it for you. Opportunities will always present themselves before you, but they will never act themselves for your benefit. So one of the things that I would change is acting on matters when they arise. Yes. Yes, it does. Yeah. Being me, having to take care of myself, and I'm one person who loves myself. Hey, kabisa. Being a wife, especially a wife to a man of God, and a man of God who believes in the family setup and the wife taking care of him, and being a mom who just doesn't want to raise ordinary children. Being a woman of God, I have to have time for me and God, have time for the ministry in my hands, ladies of royal distinction, and for the other businesses, family businesses that I might care to run. It is overwhelming. At times, mostly the overwhelm comes at the end of the year. Last year, I remember a friend of ours checked on us and asked my husband if I was okay, because the overwhelm could be seen physically. And my husband told him, it happens that she's been complaining she's tired. And at that particular time, the time I get the overwhelm is coming to the close of the year, because that is when we are rounding up on everything. So being me, being a woman, taking care of myself, having my me time, taking care of me, building and growing me. I mean, I'm doing courses, online courses. I'm doing courses that, that should be able to build me. Before I even finish on it, my husband is here. He's demanding attention. He's demanding A, B, C, D as a wife. Before I finish on it, the children are already back home. I want to be with them. I want to make dinner. I want to know how school was. I want to try and do assignments with them. The curriculum that they are doing is a bit off from 844. So most of the time I try to, get to understand what they are doing. And then I get to the point whereby my prayer time, quiet time with God, I have to pray, I have to read the Bible every day, grow spiritually. I have to prepare for ladies of royal distinction. I have to prepare for royalty divine, and it gets overwhelming. Yes, it does. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That one is easy, dependent on where I am part-time. Like as I said, when I have a loud family, I have a very jovial, jokey, cheeky family. So when I enter my house, I'm a mother and a wife. So I put down Pastor Julie down. I put the entrepreneur woman down. I put me down at that particular time so that I can take care of my family adequately. Okay? All right. When I come to church, I wear my hat of a pastor's wife. I wear it immediately on my way coming. That is when I wear that hat. Why? Because of the location where I'm coming at. I can't act the way I act in the house with our church members. It would be weird. They will not even understand who is this. But when I'm at home, I am easy, free, relaxed, because I don't want to mix the roles. When I go to my business premises, I'm a boss, and they have to answer to questions concerning business, concerning progress, concerning prospects, why ETC is not going as it should go. So there I'm a boss. If I need to make noise, if I need to bring rules in order, I will, and I should, because that matters money. And where business and pleasure is mixed, it cannot work. So it depends on where I am part-time. That's when I put on the hat that is required. It's a multitask by God's grace that I'm able to do. Yes. The most fun thing is having people that are, dependent on you. It's fun and scary at the same time, because those are my babies, like talking on the biological, Asha and Divine, they are 15. He's 15 and Divine is 13. So basically I have teenagers in the house. So one of the fun things is now I don't have kids anymore. Okay, I get to have fun with them, like talk, joke, like play around, like when they harass me, I harass back. So you're not alone. There's no moment of loneliness or the feel of being empty or being alone. So it's fun. That is the fun bit. And the scary bit is that these two guys are looking up to me for direction, for instruction. They're looking up to me to raise them. Their future tomorrow is dependent on how, as a mother, I raise them. So it's fun and scary at the same time. For my spiritual children, I would say not all the time is fun time, because at that particular time I'm a pastor. So again, also they look at me as a mentor. They look at me as a person they would ask and you should have an answer. So it is fun. I would say both sides is fun, dependent on which hat I'm wearing and what shoe I'm supposed to be on at that particular time. I take it on as it comes. As I said, I'm a lover of women and children, and I love to mentor women to become the best version of themselves, either as a mother, either as a wife, either as an entrepreneur or a business person in their career, and also to mentor them to grow as persons. So Momversation has come at this particular time to enrich the mom in every woman, to walk with them the journey of motherhood, to walk with them the journey of the challenges mothers face, to walk with them, to share with them the platform of how I handle my journey, my life as a mother, spiritual mother, and also a biological mother. So Momversation has come now because 1, it is the right time. 2, it was appointed that in my journey of mentoring a woman to become the best version of themselves, which is one of that bit is motherhood, it was entirely made by God to one day come. And so this is the time. All women, look out for this channel. My vision is to reach out to all mothers, is to reach out to all women who are mothers presently, who are looking to be mothers in the future, and to, mentor them to raise godly generation and godly children. My vision is to grow that woman herself to become the best version of herself, so that out of her belly she can be able to, bring forth what is best to her children. I usually tell women, you cannot give out what you do not have. If you're not whole yourself, if you're not 100% well made yourself in God, then you'll not be able to pass that on to your children. For instance, if you don't know how to pray, if you don't see the importance of prayer, you don't see the importance of study, if you don't see the importance of doing whatever you need to be doing as your spiritual nourishment and growth, then there's no way you'll be able to pass that on. If you don't know the importance of virtues, passing on godly virtues, passing on good character to your children, then you will not be able to pass that on to them. So Momversations vision is to be able to mentor the woman become the best version of herself in motherhood, and knowing that this journey is a learning process. You don't have to do it the way I do it. You don't have to make it perfect. There are those points whereby you will feel imperfect, but as long as you've given it your best, then you're doing your best as a mother. So this is a platform whereby I'll be sharing my journey. We'll be sharing mentorship programs, mentorship platforms, mentorship opportunities your way that can be able to grow you in the best version of yourself as a mom. So stay tuned here. Yes. I met and so my sweetheart, my husband, my best friend. The first time I saw him is the day I got born again. That was in 2002 I almost said Sound of Abundance Church, in Deliverance Church Isili, whereby he was an evangelist and I was just a member, a young girl who had just completed on high school, and so I was invited to come for a youth kesha. So that's where I met him, and from that day onwards, I looked at him as a mentor. He was a mentor to me, a pastor who led me to Christ. So anything my husband then, mentor, would tell me, I would do. I feared him, matter of fact. I used to have a literal fear. Whenever he would call me, I would come. Not because I want to come, but because I'm afraid. Okay, my pastor has called me. And then he would sit me down and tell me, are you praying? Have you been praying? This is how to pray. Make sure you come for a certain meeting that is there. We'll be doing A, B, C, D, and all that. So that is how I met him. And you asked how I met him and how I saw him. I saw him absolutely like a pastor and a mentor to me, someone who was supposed to grow me and mentor me in the spiritual walk. Little did I know, God has something bigger in store for us.
Thank you for watching this episode of Momversations. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like and drop a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Catch you on the next one. God bless you.